Order, if we'll have the roll call, please.
Pat Dorr,
Here.
Dion Jones,
Here.
Janice Lewis,
Here.
Mark Long,
Here.
Diane Singer,
Here.
Donnie Singh,
Here.
Steve Stratton.
All right, you've received, before this meeting, the minutes of the August 12th, 2025 meeting. Are there any corrections or additions that need to be made to the minutes? If not, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Singer to approve the minutes, and Dion Jones seconded that. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the minutes have been approved. Okay, under the new business, we have an application for a zoning map amendment submitted by Sam Gassiet, Pan American Engineers, on behalf of Murphy Oil USA property owners. The request is to rezone the property from PUD, Plan Unit Development District, to C2 Highway Commercial District for the purpose of establishing a convenience store with fuel pumps at this location. The 1.20 plus or minus acre subject property is located at the northwest corner of Hacks Crossroads and Highway 302, Holiday Crossing, Section A, First Revision, Lot 1, known as 7015 Hacks Crossroads. And we've received a letter from the applicant requesting to table this application until October 14th, 2025, which will be our next meeting. So I need a motion to accept that we table this application to the next meeting.
I'll make a motion to table.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Jones to table it. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Long. Any other discussion? If not, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion carries, and this application will be tabled till the next meeting. I know there are some people here that were here for this particular item, and we'll take it up next month. Under new business item number 2, we have an application for a final plat for Haygood Minor Lot Subdivision submitted by Bob Farley, Farley Surveying, on behalf of Jason Haygood and Amber Haygood Rotenberry property owners. The request is to subdivide 5.88 plus or minus acres into 3 lots. The subject property is zoned AR, Agricultural Residential District, and is located on the east side of Davidson Road, approximately 850 feet south of Timber Oaks Drive, known as 6292 Davidson Road. And we'll now have the staff presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, we have a piece of property here, parcel located off of Davidson Road. If you'll follow my cursor here, this is 302 headed west. Davidson Road, there is a Murphy here, Quality Landscaping. We may have passed it, but this is where the Murphy is at. You take a left, this is the Napa, come down Davidson Road. 6292 Davidson Road. As you will note, they are proposing 3 lots. Lot 1 is an improved lot with a home already existing. It does have a gravel driveway that approaches the home. I've got some pictures later on in the presentation to show you the home from 1974. Also the home now, showing the gravel driveway. It is a condition that we pave the first 100 foot of the driveway, but we are trying to, the other 2 ask that the driveways before any buildings are put on and any occupancy of the buildings, that the driveways be paved. So again, proposed lot 1 is an improved lot with an existing home. The intended subdivision would create these 2 other lots. Utilities are in the area and readily available. All infrastructure completion shall be the responsibility of the developers. With this, there is no variance or deviations or waivers that are applicable to the plat, and staff does recommend approval subject to various conditions. If we were to go out south on Davison Road, 6292, this is the mailbox we would see. This is the existing driveway that does lead up to this house. As you see here on the left, this is the old gravel driveway that runs the property line. This is lot 2 here on the very bottom. This would be lot 2 and lot 3 here on the very left. So we've got a collage of pictures here that show you the current state of the vacant property along with the existing structure on lot 1. These are the yard requirements. As you can see, lots 1, 2, and 3 meet everything. They meet the 1 acre minimum. They meet the front, side, and rear setbacks. They also meet the building widths, and the maximum density would be 1 dwelling unit per acre in the AR zoning. As I noted here, the only thing that we would talk about with transportation is we do ask that we recommend and see that this driveway is an existing driveway. This is 1974. This is 2020. We note that the driveway has been there for some time. We ask that the first 100 feet, so the first 100 feet's only about up to these trees here. We ask that that get paved. That keeps the gravel off of the public roads and allows them to not have to go through the expense of paving the entire driveway. These other 2 lots, when they're built, we ask that the driveways be paved and plat notes be added for that. In the AR district, sidewalks are not required, so that would be waived in this particular plat. Our next step would be, upon recommendation by the Planning Commission, that the plat be forwarded to the Mayor Board of Aldermen for consideration. Plat would need to be recorded. Once it's recorded, the lots may be sold or building permits obtained. That would be in accordance with the applicable city's land development regulations. Staff recommendation is for approval of the final plat of the Haygood Minor Lot Subdivision. We've got 8 conditions here. Actually, there's 7. We've got a 6th that popped its way in here. Again, let's note 4 and 5, though. 4 is the first 100 foot of driveway on lot 1, and 5 is the plat note that says driveways on lots 2 and 3 shall be paved, and that is the extent of the presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions of staff? If not, I see Mr. Farley in the audience. Do you wish to make a statement on this?
Bob Farley, 235 West Chulahoma Avenue, Holly Springs, Mississippi. I'll answer any questions y'all would have for me.
Any questions? No questions. Thank you. All right, I'll open for a public hearing. Anyone here wish to speak in favor or against this application? If not, then the public hearing is closed. I will now entertain any comments, discussion, or motions from the commissioners.
Make a motion that approve the final plat, subject to conditions 1 through 6.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Jones to approve the plat, subject to the staff recommendations. Do we have a second on this?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second by Ms. Singer. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, then the motion carries and the application is approved. Item number 3 is an application for a final plat for Sergio's Auto Repair subdivision submitted by Bob Farley, Farley Surveying, on behalf of Donnie Oxner, property owner. The request is to create 1 lot from 2.07 plus or minus acres. The subject property is on M2 Heavy Industrial District and is located on the east side of Highway 178, directly across from Maywood Drive, known as 8220 Highway 178. We'll now have the staff presentation.
Yes, sir. Again, bringing you up to where we are here, Planning Commission. Well, if we follow the cursor here north on Highway 178, we come up to Maywood Drive. That would be Neighborhood Grill is here, and Sergio's is right beside of them. These are the two lots we will be talking about, two parcels, I must say. One is vacant and one does have an existing building. As we do talk about this presentation, we will get into this existing building is a non-conformity, and upon demolishment of the building, we would ask that it be built behind the setback lines. So that's something we're going to approach as we move forward here. So again, as the commissioner said, this application seeks a final plat for approval to combine two parcels into one lot. So as I did note, this lot on the north is a vacant lot. This lot here to the south does have existing buildings on it. The existing buildings you can see, this building here actually is over the 5-foot utility easement, and the note says utility easement to connect if this building is demolished. So if that building were to be demolished, we ask that the building be put back behind the setback lines. So the lower parcel is currently used as an auto repair shop. These are these buildings right here where my cursor's at. This parcel here to the north is an empty lot in which they plan to put up a fence and move some cars onto for staging for repair. Platting parcels is a necessary step to the possibility of obtaining a building permit, and that's what he plans to do in the future for development on the property. I will state up front, this is not a truck drop yard. This is just for Sergio to have auto repair on. So as you can see here, I've got a picture of the two lots, the two parcels here that we're talking about, to combine them into this lot 1, 2.07 acres. As you will note here, I've got some yard requirements. Everything is met except for the buildings. These are non-conformity buildings. These are the buildings up front here, specifically 8210, which is over the utility easement. And again, we would ask if the buildings are tore down that they would be built behind the setback lines. This is our new lot with our hopefully this lot built out to whereas he can move his cars. These are the buildings here, and this line goes away, and the lot becomes 2.07 acres. So as anything we talk about transportation, the lot does front on Highway 178. There's no construction needed, so no bond would be needed. This is the building. It is a variance or somewhat of a deviation. Existing buildings, as you can see, are non-conforming regarding the front yard setback. And as you know, a deviation from any standards of subdivision improvements is not warranted. This is a minor plat. This is not a major subdivision that would involve a significant subdivision infrastructure. So it just, all that we're saying is if the building is tore down, we would need to move the building behind the setback lines. In this case, there's no waiver needed. There's no sidewalks within the vicinity. It's recommended that sidewalk requirements be waived for this minor plat. So our next steps here, as we just said on the other one, upon recommendation by the Planning Commission, the final plat would be presented to the Board of Aldermen for approval. Final plat would need to be recorded before any building permits would be issued for construction or any permitted uses of any permitted uses on any of the proposed lots. So staff recommendation is to approve the final plat for Sergio's Auto Repair Subdivision. Recommend the same to Mayor and Board of Aldermen. We've got conditions 1 through 5. Again, we want to recognize that number 3, it is recognized that existing buildings are legally non-conforming regarding side and front yard setbacks in the M2 districts. Future buildings shall meet all setback requirements. That concludes staff presentation.
Any questions of staff?
I've got a question for staff. It's on the drawing. The owner certificate says, "I, we, Amber Haygood, Rottenberry, and Jason Haygood as owners of the property hereby adopt this plan." then it's got Donald Oxner Jr. and Valerie Oxner as the signatours. Is that document correct?
Sir, honestly, I did not hear you. I don't know if you were muffled or heard the,
On,
okay.
on the owner's certificate of this, of the drawing from Farley Surveying, it says the owner's certificate, we, Amber Haygood Rottenberry and Jason Haygood as owners of the property hereby adopt this plan. But then it's got the signatures of Donald and Valerie. Is that a minor edit that you guys can fix, or is that even?
Yes, sir. That sounds like a question Bob will be able to answer and fix, as he was working on both the former presentation and this one. So sounds like a minor edit he'll have fixed before we get to Board of Aldermen.
All right,
But I'll
thank
let Bob confirm that.
Any other questions to staff? All right, Mr. Farley, if you please come forward and you possibly could answer that question.
It's one of those minor edits.
I know, I just want to make sure I'm not approving something for Amber Rottenberry and Valerie gets upset.
That's one of those minor edits, Mr. Jones. Nah. You know, you can look at them 1,000 times and you'll overlook things every time. Oh, that would be corrected.
All right, I appreciate that.
No further questions, and thank you, sir. And once again, I'll open it for a public hearing. Anyone here wish to speak for or against this application? If not, then the public hearing is closed, and I will now entertain any comments, discussion, or motions from the commissioners.
Motion to approve, subject to staff conditions.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Stratton to approve the application subject to staff conditions. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second by Ms. Lewis. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the motion is carried and the application is approved. Thank you. Good job. All right, we have an application for a final plat for Olive Branch Logistics Park, Lot 1, submitted by Jarman Paragoy, P.E., Kimley Horn and Associates on behalf of Land Grant LLC, Mark Boulding, property owner. The request is to subdivide 72.33 plus or minus acres into 167.88 plus or minus lot and 4.45 plus or minus acres of right-of-way to widen Kirk Road and to extend South Crossroads Drive. The subject property is zoned M1, light industrial, and is located on the south side of Kirk Road, approximately 760 feet east of Polk Lane. We'll now have staff presentation.
Yes, sir, thank you. You may recall what you're seeing on the slide. Back in July of this year, you approved, and then you recommended approval, I should say, and then on August 19th, the Board of Aldermen approved a preliminary plat to subdivide about 220 acres into 3 industrial lots and rights-of-way and 1 common open space, and it was supposed to be over 3 development phases. And that property that you can see outlined in blue is on the south side of Kirk Road, and it is to the east of Polk Lane. And what we have tonight is a follow-up application, and this is for the first of the 3-phase development phases, and it's to plat, 1 lot and do some improvements of right-of-way. And specifically, this shows you a sketch of what this plat is proposing to do. It's a total of 72.33 acres that's being subdivided out. Lot 1 is about 68 acres in size, and then the division also includes additional right-of-way dedication of about 2.5 acres along the north side of that Lot 1 to widen out Kirk Road, and then also a little bit under 2 acres along the east side of the property to extend the South Crossroad Drive through the development. This next slide shows you, this is the preliminary plat exhibit, and what's shaded with the crosshatch, and the dark gray was basically what the preliminary plat showed would be the first phase of the development. And so the final plat that we have tonight is an exact, well, pretty much an exact match of what the preliminary plat showed. The applicant in this case, and this shows you a copy of the final plat that's you're being asked to recommend on tonight. The applicant has actually submitted a site plan showing that this Lot 1 would be improved with a 1.2 million square foot warehouse distribution facility. And on that same set of civil plans, they've included the road plans to widen out Kirk Road and also to extend Crossroad Drive. So whether you're talking about a single-family subdivision where you're talking about building a house that's 2,000 square feet, or you're talking about a big industrial subdivision where you're talking about a 1.2 million square foot warehouse, the process for subdivision is the same. And what that means is that you have to record the subdivision, get it approved and record it before you can get a building permit to go vertical. Now, one of the differences with this type of subdivision is the plans show the public improvements as well as the vertical improvements with the warehouse all in the same plan set. And so what the applicant will need to do is record a letter of credit to cover the cost of the public improvements or to build that new road and to widen out Kirk Road. But that's really the only difference. And that's very common when you're dealing with these big industrial projects, that they kind of do all of the construction at the same time because of the massive scale of those projects, as opposed to a residential subdivision where you'd basically build the roads and utilities first, get it recorded, and then pull individual permits for your single-family homes. So we're pretty much typical on that. We do have a recommended motion that you would forward up to the Board of Aldermen to subdivide the 72.33 acres as shown, and it would be subject to the exact same conditions that you did back in July, or recommended back in July for the preliminary plat. I did want to mention in number 4, just to remind you that this phase 1 construction, it does include the Kirk Road widening and construction of South Crossroad Drive abutting Lot 1. Again, we'll have the plans under 6 and 7 approved by the city engineer with the appropriate letter of credit given to cover the cost of those off-site improvements. And then I did want to mention also number 10, that we in all likelihood will have overhead electrical transmission lines down South Crossroad Drive. I doubt that they have electrical plans done yet, but that's just done in anticipation, because normally we would say that all of those would have to be buried. So that concludes the staff presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I see Jarman Paragoy's here from Kimley Horn, who could probably answer anything in more detail than me.
Okay, any questions of staff? If there are no questions, Mr. Paragoy, do you wish to come forward?
Hi, good evening. I'm Jarman Paragoy. My address is 10191 Shrewsbury Run West in Collierville, Tennessee. Happy to answer any question that you may have.
Anyone have any questions? Gosh, no questions tonight then.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll open for public hearing. Anyone here wish to speak for or against this application? If not, then the public hearing is closed, and now I'll entertain any comments, discussion, or motions from the commissioners.
I make a motion to approve and recommend that the Board of Aldermen approve the final plat,
Okay,
subject to the same conditions associated with the August 19th, 2025 preliminary plat approval.
okay. We have a motion by Mr. Jones to approve the application and forward it to the Board of Aldermen, subject to the staff conditions. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second by Mr. Singh. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then the motion carries and the application has been approved. Thank you. All right, we've got an application for the preliminary plat for Marguerite Manor Commercial Center, Phase 2, submitted by Andrew Link, Waffle House, Inc., on behalf of Barry Bridgeforth, Marguerite Manor LLC property owner. The request is to divide 14 plus .18 plus or minus acres into 13 lots for commercial use. The subject property is zoned PUD Plan Unit Development District and is located on the south side of Church Road, just east of Pleasant Hill Road North. And we'll now have the staff presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Planning Commissioners. Before you is a request to consider the preliminary plat for this phase 2 of the Margaret Manor Commercial Area subdivision. Phase 1 is essentially developed, of this commercial area is developed with, there is a gas station at this 5005 corner lot. There is a strip mall with some restaurants, offices at this location. This is currently vacant, and then you have a Dollar General. Further to the east is Margaret Manor residential area, and then lying between that is this piece of property which is the subject of the preliminary plat application before you today. Generally, this lies south of Church Road and at this easterly corner with Pleasant Hill Road. There's a Sandwich Road over here. The dump area will be to the north at this location. So you're looking at that vacant piece of property within this general area. The Margaret Manor plant PUD, if you look at it, this is the area in the PUD. It has generally developed as it was planned conceptually. Initially, you had those two out parcels or lots, you can say. Others have been added. This is the reality that you have on the site today. And this area is really what is a subject property under consideration. As you see, it was conceptualized in the preliminary layout plan. You had a connection here going on to Church Road and a connection here going on to Pleasant Hill Road, basically at this location and at this other location. So the preliminary plat before you contemplates creating essentially 13 lots. So you have lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. These two are kind of together, and then you will have lot 4, lot 5, 6, 7, 8, right up to lot 16 of the Margaret Manor. This is preliminary. These are all preliminary lots. These number of lots can change significantly by the time you get to final plat. May end up being 1 lot, may end up being 2, may end up being 3. So these are just preliminary. Currently, you have a private drive. Basically, it's a shared access easement between lot 3 and what would be lot 4. That is platted, that is an easement platted, is private. The applicant proposes to make that public. So to be dedicated as a public street via final plat. And with that dedication, this is really the reason you have this before you as a preliminary plat. Because once you start constructing public infrastructure in any subdivision, then a preliminary plat is required. Even if it's just 1 lot, a preliminary plat is required. The key interest here for the applicant was lot 4 and lot 5. Lot 4 because this has perspective for the Waffle House restaurant on lot 4. Lot 5 doesn't yet have anything fixed at this time. A 20-feet buffer, 20-feet wide buffer is required between the commercial area and the residential subdivision, and that is required to have a 6-feet high Simtech EcoStone fence. That was required by the Board of Aldermen back in 2017, and it's included that ordinance in your packet. That particular requirement in the staff's packet, staff report. So because of that intent to reconstruct this and dedicate it as a public street, this is before you as a preliminary plat. There is currently no specific intention as far as the development of lot 6 to lot 16 is concerned. So even this layout of the road from this particular location right up to Pleasant Hill, it's speculative. The city engineer, however, did ask that at least we should have a profile that shows that this road layout can work before we proceed, and I think that has been done. To show that, okay, if you actually go in, the developer of lot 4 is going to build this, Waffle House is going to build that road right up to this end. And then in future, whoever is going to take it from here and continue it needs to at least be conceptualized that the layout can work. That's what the profile it's all about, and that has been done. This is the preliminary plat as proposed. Utilities are all in the area. It will be the responsibility of the developer to extend those utilities to provide for any lots in the subdivision. Staff recommends approval subject to these conditions 1 to 7. Condition number 3 addresses the profile requirement, basically that the entire street proposed to be publicly dedicated via final plat shall be submitted to, reviewed by, and approved by the city engineer before a building permit may be issued for the development of any of the proposed prospective lots. This road shall be constructed with curb, gutter, and sidewalks on both sides in its entirety. Condition number 7, sidewalks shall be constructed along the Pleasant Hill frontage of the property. If you look right here, there are sidewalks kind of shown here. You have that little wide area. Those are sidewalks that were constructed on Pleasant Hill Road from that gas station right up to this location. And then the residential area at the back of the property also has sidewalks. So it's important to fill up that area so we can have a continuous sidewalk along Pleasant Hill Road. That is precisely what that condition number 7 addresses. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Any questions of staff?
I had a quick one. Between lots 4 and 5, do they have access easements?
Lot 4 and 5, yes,
on the
that will
front
be
and back.
addressed in the final plat.
Okay, gotcha.
Any other questions? If no further questions, do we have someone here to represent the application? If you'll please come forward.
Good evening. I'm Andrew Link with Waffle House of 5470 Chemin de Vie, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm just here to answer any questions you might have.
Anyone have any questions? No questions, then thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, I'll open this up for public hearing. Anyone here for or against this application that wishes to speak? If not, then the public hearing is closed, and I will now entertain any comments, discussion, or motions from the commissioners.
I make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Ms. Singer to approve the application, subject to the staff conditions. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Stratton. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion is carried and the application is approved. And item number 6 is the application for the final plat for lots 4 and 5, retail section 8A, Marguerite Manor at Robinson Crossing Commercial Center, submitted by Andrew Link, Waffle House, Inc., on behalf of Barry Bridgeforth, Marguerite Manor LLC property owner. The request is to create 2 lots of .55 plus or minus acres and 1.08 plus or minus acres. The subject property is on PUD Planned Unit Development District and is located on the south side of Church Road, just east of Pleasant Hill Road North. And we'll have staff presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before you is a request to consider the final plat, so this is final, for lots 4 and 5 of what you just approved or recommended for approval in the preliminary plat. So 4 and 5 are going to be final. As I did indicate, utilities are available in this area. There's an 8-inch sewer line. There's a gas line along Church Road also. There's a 6-inch line there, and then there's a 12-inch water line. It will be the responsibility of the developer to extend those lines to service any development on these individual lots. This is the area that is requested to become a public street upon the recordation of this final plat. The reason these final plat for these 2 lots are before you is because Waffle House Incorporated intends to develop lot 4 for the Waffle House restaurant. So everyone on Church Road, you can go there and get a waffle once this is done. Yes. Lot 5 for now is going to be vacant. We don't have any specific development proposed on lot 5 at this time. As far as the site plan and all these building elevations are concerned, those are reviewed and approved administratively by staff. But the plat, every element dealing with the subdivision infrastructure, the street construction, the street names, the sidewalks on the streets, the utilities, the lot layout, the buffering, all of that is subject to this particular plat approval. There was a question that was asked not long ago in terms of cross-access easement. So there is a 25-feet cross-access easement that will link Lot 4 and Lot 5, which is shown in this, shown here. So it will be 25 feet wide. Basically, it goes, is this drive aisle intended to extend across Lot 5 when that is eventually done. And it should provide access. One of the conditions for approval is that the developer of Lot 5 will build a sidewalk connecting Lot 5 to West Margaret Circle. The reason here being, it should be possible for residents in this subdivision to walk, get on that easement, be able to walk, eat in that area. In the evening, you want to get a waffle, just walk out there, eat, and go back. Instead of having to drive down on Goodman Road, on Church Road, deal with the traffic and all the turns. So that is the reason why you have that particular. Or if you just want to walk in the evening and get a gallon of milk from Dollar General, you don't need to drive. That should be possible. Now, the fence, as I did indicate in the preliminary plat review, a fence was, a Simtech EcoStone fence was required by the Board of Aldermen to be constructed in these property lines, in this buffer, 20 feet wide buffer. What you currently have out there is a wood fence. The board has never amended that particular condition. As such, it is being maintained here. Once we have these developments going through, I've asked to speak with the property owner tomorrow as far as going in and putting in this fence is concerned. The board order was very specific on what type of fence should be out there. It did specify that it should be the same fence, similar to the one that was constructed on Pleasant Hill Road behind Sports Academy. Basically, is this fence here, the Simtech EcoStone fence. That is what was required out there. This is the final plat. That is the easement we talked about. And the requirement for that sidewalk construction is all written as notes on the plat. The road is proposed to be named Waffle Way. And there's a bit of a question mark on that. Generally, you will, as a matter of practice in street naming, a road would take the name of a very specific business when that road services maybe like a corporate area. So if we have Google come to the city of Olive Branch, for example, and use an entire Google campus, you can name the roads going into it Google Drive, that kind of stuff. But when you have a potential for multiple lots, that you have different businesses on those lots, giving a single name that is attributed to one business can become a disincentive for others in that area. Now, subdivision regulations do not address this very specifically. It's a matter of the Planning Commission's recommendation and the Board of Aldermen's decision on what you want as far as that name is concerned. But the name is final. Whatever name is recorded on the final plat is approved on the final plat, that will become final. So that is open to Planning Commission's recommendation. Condition number 5 addresses the need for that fence to be put in once Lot 5 is developed. And should the property owner, condition number 5, this is most likely what is going to happen, since Waffle House intends to go in and start this construction, to pull a building permit and start building on on Lot 4, you will need to post a financial guarantee for the construction of the road in order to be able to record the plat and then get a building permit. That's what condition number 5 addresses. Lastly, the written consent of the owner of Lot 3, that's the Dollar General lot, is required regarding the dedication of the proposed road as a public street. That consent needs to be submitted to the planning staff before this plat is considered by the Board of Aldermen. The reason being, the plat for that Lot 3 stated that that driveway, what is a driveway? Basically, this is a private easement for the benefit of Lot 3 and the rest of all the other property. So if you're going to then turn it into a public street, well, the owner of Lot 3 has interest in it and needs to consent. So, and I think they've been working on that already. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Any questions of staff?
Yes, could you pull up the drawing that had the location of the restaurant? Where it would be placed? No question, I'll wait to who's presenting, I got a question. But leave that up there.
Anyone else? If not, if you'll please come forward and represent the application.
Andrew Link again with Waffle House, 5470 Chemin de Vie, Atlanta, Georgia. Here to answer some questions.
Just a quick question. The location of the restaurant and most of the lights are gonna be in towards the building. My concern is that we're gonna have a half-completed road next to, I think that's a Dollar General,
Mm-hmm.
and a Waffle House.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, will you consider in building that, and maybe the engineer, working with the engineer to ensure that that's properly lit so that we don't have people parking at the end of that street on a, dark area next to a Dollar General and a Waffle House? You know Waffle Houses. My daughter does not go to one after 10 p.m.
Fair enough.
But just for consideration for, for safety reasons, just if Waffle House would consider working with the engineer to ensure that that's properly lit.
So essentially street lights along that road.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any other questions?
I have, would you consider changing the name of the street?
Of the road?
Yeah.
I'm open to it.
It's something that is not just solely dedicated to Waffle House, because that's a very valid point that there will be other businesses, especially, hopefully there will be other businesses in the other lots behind you guys and whatnot. So, I don't know, maybe something like Marguerite Way or Marguerite Drive or something like that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm happy to change the name. And the suggestion of the founder is a good one.
Yeah, nobody would know. It's Bob Way or whatever his last name is. It's probably Waffle.
Any other questions? All right, no further questions, and thank you
Thank you, sir.
for your comments. All right, open it up for public hearing. Anyone here wish to speak for or against this application? If not, then the public hearing is closed, and I'll entertain any comments, discussion, or motions from the commissioners.
And anything else anything other to add than reconsider the road name and lighting?
Lighting.
And the lighting on the public road?
Yes, you can add that into your motion if you wish to do so.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the final plat of lots 4 and 5, subject to conditions 1 through 9, plus adding that the applicant will work with the engineer to ensure that the public road is properly lit, and and not approve Waffle Way.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Jones to approve the application subject to staff conditions 1 through 9, and then adding that the owner will work with the engineer about placing lights between the two properties there, and also the street, consideration of the street not being named Waffle Way. Is that covered? Okay. Do we have a second to that motion?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Lewis. Any other discussion on this? If no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then it's unanimous, motion carries, and the application is approved. Okay, we're now at other business. Anyone have any other business? I think we need a motion. Whoop.
I do have an announcement.
Okay.
I don't know how much business related it is, but this will be my last meeting here with the last planning commission meeting, so I'm retiring / seeking other opportunities at the end of September.
Okay.
So just wanted to tell you all I've enjoyed.
Gosh,
Motion denied.
we hate to hear that, so.
I guess I've been here for almost 10 years, so it's probably close to 120 planning commission
Wow.
meetings. I'm probably pretty close. The
Yeah.
time really flies, but I've enjoyed my time working for the city. And in my new job, I may very well be appearing before you on the other side
On
of
the
the
other side.
podium, so that's certainly possible.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
Please be kind if I show up on the other side of the podium in the future. That's,
Well, we thank you so much for your service and your guidance to us because, you know, it's
I'm sure
invaluable
you'll
for
be
us.
left in good hands. I mean, we have a top-notch planning staff assembled here.
That's
There's-
right.
There's no question. This is excellent staff, best I've ever worked with, so.
Yes.
And I hired most of the people, so
Yeah.
that's good credit.
Well, we hate to see you leave, but we know
I
you
was gonna
have,
say, you built the staffs.
we know you have many opportunities to go forward, so.
I want to say thank you because when I first moved to Olive Branch, you're probably the first person that I spoke to. So,
We had you on the Board of Adjustment at one point. You were on the
Old Town Design Review Board, Board
Design
of
Review, so
Adjustments.
You've hit most of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing streets later, so.
Greatest hits.
Yeah.
But I appreciate all your insight and your input.
Appreciate it.
We'll have to find another Ohio State Buckeye, though. That's the
No,
only
we
problem.
won't. No.
So, any other business we need to discuss tonight? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Mr. Jones to adjourn. Do we have a second? We have a second by Mr. Singh. All in favor, say aye. Aye. And then approved, we are now adjourned, so.